Rutledge and Matt Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
Roll out the barrel, the barrel, the barrel.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Alex, I just blocked that memory from my brain. It was gone. This weekend had fully helped me recover from the absolute cringe of that singing session, and you had to go ahead and pick at that scab. You're terrible. You're the worst.
Is that why you didn't talk to any of us all weekend, Matt Hamilton?
No, I was
not
busy.
That we texted you and you didn't text back. It was just usually we hear from you at something, from the weekend.
I was just scrambling around. I had all sorts of things to do.
You were at two different weddings this week, and this is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's crush multiple Coors Lights at multiple weddings in a weekend.
In multiple states.
In multiple states.
We have the Coors Light, one of the Coors Light cases in front of us. We have a fridge full of Coors Light, Matt Hamilton. I went and got that for you.
See?
On
I
Friday.
told you it would show up.
Yes, it showed up by me going to get it, so you can see
How
it.
it works, baby.
At Jim and Matt on Twitter, on YouTube as well. You can see the Coors Light with the Matt Hamilton bobbleheads on top. But I saw your sister on Facebook posted a bunch of photos. You weren't in any of them. So were you wiling out that you were trying to no pictures please this weekend? You're I'm getting after it and I just need to stay incognito.
No, honestly, kind of the opposite. So my sister's curling teammate had their wedding, and it turns out the wedding invite, and it was come join us for our wedding and stuff, our special day. It ended up just being the ceremony, or excuse me, the reception.
Okay.
So I went up to Minneapolis Cider Works or Cider Company, whatever, and they had a nice little back room that was private for just the wedding group, and then they had a couple food trucks. But I told my parents, since they're also invited to my sister's teammate's wedding and reception, that I would drive home. Becca had to catch a flight, so she just left Minneapolis, and I volunteered to drive my parents home, which was the right move. So I took it easy at the wedding on Friday because I wanted to wake up early and drive because I had another wedding on Saturday at 4. And then I get to the wedding at 4. Wife was already gone because she was helping out the bride with some things. So I get to the wedding, and then she tells me, hey, I'm not on call for this wedding, and I am for the next wedding we're going to go to, so I'm going to get after it, and you're going to drive. So I had a very responsible 2 wedding nights, which I honestly thought I was going to be an absolute puddle on Sunday. I was a productive person on Sunday. I had a very eventful, full weekend. It was good.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Sounds like a winning weekend. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Over $12 million in jackpots in July alone. They're going to beat that number in August. I can feel it. So go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Matt Hamilton, the Packers continue to not – what's the opposite of all in?
All out?
They're not all out. But they're not going all in. They're not pushing their chips. Like you're a gambler. They're not pushing their chips to the center. They're basically playing the cards they have. They're playing their hand.
They might be hedging.
Well,
there's a thing called hedging.
I don't think they're hedging. I think this is an apt comp here. The Packers are just playing the hand that they're dealt this season. I think that is their game plan. They have their draft picks. They have their young players. You're not going to see them claim someone off the waiver wire. You're not going to see them make some big trade to help them for this year. They are going to play the hands that were dealt to them. And another reason to back that up is ESPN's Rob Domofsky, first surprise cut in Green Bay, punter Pat O'Donnell's out. That's one thing. Daniel Whelan's going to get the opportunity to punt. That's okay, whatever. But it impacts rookie kicker Anders Carlson, who has a big leg, has been consistently inconsistent, but he's worth giving a run this year. I understand that. But O'Donnell was the more accomplished holder, and he's the one that held for these kicks. It would hold for the kicks. It's a small thing. But again, I think the Packers are saying, we're going young, and we're going to play the hands that are dealt to us. And then after this year, we'll start going all in. We'll start, trading cards in and seeing what we need to do. But it's just another small example. And I heard Wildy talk about this earlier today of even with Jordan Love. They have to be accounting for the youth in Jordan Love because he brought Christian Watson. Well, he's still got the dropsies a little bit. Musgraves, a little bit of the dropsies. So some of these guys,
Butterfingers.
They're going to get there.
Yeah.
These young players are going to get there. But there's going to be
Devontae
times.
Adams had a bit of the case of the drops early in his career as well.
Jordan Love is probably going to have a couple stinkers this year. I think the Packers are all fine with that. Now, if everything breaks fantastic and they win 10 games, wonderful. But I think they are literally just playing the cards that have been dealt to them, and they're going to go, whatever this is, that's fine because we're holding we're putting on our poker face, we're holding our chips to next season to go all in. Doesn't mean they're not trying to win right now, but it just means they're going to be very strategic, conservative, and just kind of play the hand that they were dealt and see how the chips fall. I think that's a fair description of what I think the Packers are doing this year. And this cut is a small, but I think important, another little note in that story of, hey, we're gonna play the young guys and see what we got with this team.
To me, the Packers, it's like a game of blackjack, and the Packers are just playing the table minimum.
There you go.
They're not doubling down on anything. They're not going to. They're not splitting anything. They're just going to stick with their table minimum ante and play the cards that are given. That said, I don't hate it. I don't hate the strategy. Right now, they have a bunch of young guys, and to me, what they're doing is they're throwing a bunch of poo against the wall and seeing what sticks, right? And there's no reason to try and kind of like trim the fat right now when you don't necessarily know who's going to work out to be something good and who might end up being a liability or someone that isn't going to benefit your team. So having this year, if they don't want to call it rebuilding, fine. We don't need to call it rebuilding, but you're definitely going young and seeing what people are projects, what people are like future prospects, and what are doo-doo. And you don't want to like drop somebody who's good now by accident or like thinking that they might not have potential. Like, this is the time to do it. Everybody has a big old question mark by their name essentially on this football team. So you might as well just not do anything like outrageous and just play this season out and see how it goes. See what you got. Because there might be some diamonds in the rough here.
I don't think that's a bad plan.
I don't think so either. I just wish they would just tell us like straight up, like, this is what we're doing. They're so cryptic, and they're like, the Packers love to, we know what we're doing. Like, in the Packers, we trust. Like, just trust the system, trust the game. Sometimes I just like to know.
844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. We're live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Give us a word to describe how you think the Packers are approaching building their roster this year. Because you're not going to see. Obviously, there's no need for Jonathan Taylor with the Packers, but you're not going to see anything. You're not going to see Chris Jones from the Chiefs. Like, he's not going to all of a sudden appear here. They could use some help on the interior. I know they have Kenny Clark, but you're not going to see. There's other pass rushers out there. I think Wilkinson's another. There's Bosa. Obviously, Bosa's not going anywhere, and I don't know if Jones is either. But you're not going to see some sort of splash move right now at the cut deadline.
It doesn't make sense. Like, as much as we as Packer fans would like to see it, and yeah, it would probably give you a better shot at doing well this season, but I don't think we have enough pieces necessarily to go on like a deep Super Bowl run. Do I think there might be enough pieces if they all click at the right time to make the playoffs? Sure. I think that's possible. But I don't think even on our best run do we have all the pieces to win a Super Bowl this season. So I don't think there's any point to going out and getting a guy that is like a contributor.
I agree, and I think this team is basically playing the hand that they're dealt, or that they dealt themselves. Adam Madison chimes in. I like it. His word is totally raw, which is interesting. Basically, go into the season totally raw, and then you use next offseason to address any weaknesses without bringing in any Band-Aids during the season. And taking their lumps, and there might not be any lumps. But
there's going to be. It's a young team. They're going to take some lumps.
There's a tell from even the most optimistic Packers beat reporters in the idea that even the most optimistic ones will say this is a bad division. So that's why they maybe could win the division. That does not mean you're a good football team. And so even those who are trying to be hyper positive about the team, the first thing they say is, yeah, they can win the division because it's a trash division. And that does not mean you're a good football team. Yes, you could we saw this before with Aaron Rodgers. This was my whole theory on Aaron Rodgers and why do the Packers have inflated regular season success and then sometimes falter out or disappoint in the playoffs? Because you play in a trash division. So so maybe yes, maybe you go from 10 or maybe you could have had 12, 13 wins this year, and maybe you win 10 and you still win the division. It doesn't mean you're still not going to get housed. And I think the Packers are fine with that this year.
Yeah.
Because this year's different in the idea that they're saying maybe Watson and Dobbs and Musgrave and Kraft and every other player is in love, and all of them are just going to blow up. They're all just going to click. Darnell Savage is going to go back to being at least an adequate safety in the NFL. Everything is going to click right, and we'll win 11 games, and everything will be fine and dandy in Green Bay. But if they also end up with 6, and Love looks good, and the other young guys look good at times, they're going to be just as happy with that. Maybe not, or pretty dang close to it.
They'll be happy because then they know that, hey, these guys know what the heck they're doing. They have even more room to improve, and there's holes that need to be filled other places.
Here, Ryan and Madison chimes in. The Packers front office doesn't want to admit it, but they're trying to do exactly what the Bears did last year, which is what other teams have done as well. I've added that little addendum. Lose a lot of games by just a couple of points, show improvement, get a high draft pick. And I wouldn't say it's exactly like that, but I think that they are willing to take the optimistic view on whatever happens as long as they're young players. I would say goal number.
And we see big improvements from our young guys like Musgrave and Watson, Dobbs, Reed, Love. Like, these guys can show good improvements and stuff, and we still have 5-6 wins. Like, that's a big old W for the Packers as far as the 2023 season, because you have players that hit. So, like, basically, elaborating on what you said, wins and losses aren't going to matter. The main primary focus is, what do we have? How good are these guys? And, like, are we that close? Are we a couple pieces away in a couple years to being Super Bowl worthy?
Year 1 as a starter for Aaron Rodgers. 64% completion percentage, 4,000 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 93.8 QB rating. Does Jordan Love do that this year?
I mean, I think that's a little bit high, but what'd you say, 4,000? I think 35.
He gets an extra game.
I think 3,500 is certainly in the realm of possibility. You said 28 touchdowns. I think 25 is not absurd, and 13 picks. Honestly, I think it's going to be pretty darn close to that. So, no, I don't think it'll quite be that high. I don't think Jordan Love's going to have a passer rating of 91.
That one was 93.8.
93. I think his is going to be in a mid to high 80s, and I think his completion percentage would be maybe just a touch lower than that, right?
Let's do this.
61 to 63%.
Let's make this our first Iron Jock poll question. We're going to define this today, and you can chime in as a listener. Alex, you can hop in. Alex Strofe behind the glass. Ryan Wallersheim's back there, too. So as a show, we can circle back to this. What is the one statistic that you're going to watch the most for Jordan Love to dictate his success? 844-770-3776. Is it wins? Is it QB rating? Yards? Touchdowns? Interceptions? Or you could TD interception ratio.
Yeah.
844-770-3776.
Percentage as well.
All right, 844-770-3776. Mine is a little more advanced. I think yards per attempt is a tell. Because you can be a good game manager with a low yards per attempt, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a good quarterback.
True.
But so what are you picking?
I like completion percentage. Efficiency is important to me.
Okay.
In a quarterback.
844-770-3776. What stat are you watching the most, Alex Strofe?
TD interception ratio is probably the one I've got my eyes on the most. Look, I don't think he's going to throw a ton of touchdowns, but I just hope he also doesn't throw a ton of interceptions. So,
like a 25-2, like 2018 Aaron Rodgers. That would you be happy with that?
48 to what was it? What was it in 2020?
48 to 5. Oh, you'd be happy with that? You'd be fine with that?
Yeah, I think
okay.
that'd be an okay starting point for Jay Love, the future Hall of Famer. So, I'm up for whatever, man. But touchdown interception ratio is certainly the one I'm keeping an eye on.
Ryan Wollersheim, you're behind the glass at the Everlight Solar Studio. What are you jumping in on?
I would have to say probably passing attempts per game. Do they trust him enough to actually put the game in his hands? Or do they just try to run the ball with Dillon and Jones and try to minimize him as much as possible the way that Shanahan has with Jimmy G in the past?
Look at Ryan with the deep analytic.
Yeah, that's fine and dandy, but we want one of the simple ones, so we list it off as an option.
Passing attempts.
That's not what we listed. It was QB rating, touchdown interception
When
ratio.
did passing attempts become advanced?
But that's not one that we listed out there. We're going to put on the Iron Jack poll question. I want to do yards per attempt, but we're not going to put that in there either.
Okay, well, I'm back here trying to help Stroke with the stream. Trying to
Oh,
assess
now
our
it's
technical
excuses.
difficulties. I can't be everything.
The force
everywhere
is-
else.
He really has been learning.
Yeah, the force
from
is
Stroh.
strong in Wollersheim.
Wow.
We gave you credit the other day.
Situation normal. We're fine.
It really
We're all
is
fine here.
a little bit of that scene back there right now. There's like 7 people behind the glass just digging in back there.
Total blank show back here, Jimmy.
All pushing buttons.
We got
Yes.
one camera that works.
I'll tell you what, though. Ryan Wollersheim looks good today. He's wearing his Iron Jock gear. So am I. We're looking good today, but he's got the Iron Jock gear that's customized with the ESPN Madison on the sleeve. And well, you got your. I asked Ryan to show it off. He showed off the wrong sleeve there. He shows off the sleeve without the ESPN Madison. You can see that on the stream. But Matt, you and I love Iron Jock. Good local company.
That's because it's got that silver ion technology. It's that no stink technology that makes sure you're feeling fresh and smelling fresh for as long as you own the garment. I love Iron Jock. They've got awesome sweatshirts, t-shirts, all sorts of different apparel products for you, but the sneaky hero for me right now is their socks. They've got elastic in all the right spots. It holds the arches up really nicely. I'm telling you.
No, it just sounds like you're talking about it. She's got elastic in all the right spots.
You know what? I did not realize how nice it is to have nice socks. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I
Dude,
was
they're
so
my
used
they're my favorite
to
socks.
just
I
buying
totally
like
agree.
bulk bargain socks from like the big box store. No. Iron Jock's got socks that are super comfortable, and I don't have to worry if I just curled them or if I was at the gym wearing those Iron Jock socks. They're not going to stink up my gym bag. And we love Wisconsin-based companies, and you should too. You can go to ironjock.com. That's JOC, ironjock.com, and get
I got a
your
code for you right now.
apparel today. And there's always a code for you, Jimmy. What do we got?
Logo 40. Use the code Logo 40, 40% off all large logo items. They're going to go fast. That runs through September 4th. Logo 40. Iron, JOC.com. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about X Golf Madison, and the most important thing that you need to know is that X Golf Madison is for everyone. Heck, I golf there. Whether you're a seasoned pro, a new golfer, or in between like me, X Golf Madison is going to be fun for you. They have a full bar, excellent service, great food, and the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world. You can play one of their 50 courses available, take lessons from a PGA pro, hit the driving range, or even join a league. Stop by their East Madison or Middleton location today, or visit them online at xgolfwisconsin.com.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Hey, Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Packers fans, can you feel the excitement in the air? Preseason football is upon us. And if you want to rep the green and gold, they've got you. With Packers checking from Associated Bank, you can make every transaction a touchdown with an exclusive Packers debit MasterCard. Plus, every Packers checking cardholder scores 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop, both in-store and online, all year long. Learn more at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Everyone's journey after a serious crash is different, but no matter the circumstances, the one thing you'll need is help. Our team at Gruber Law Offices is here for you 24/7. Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm Vice President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Carbon World Health.
Ryan and Madison chimes in, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball 100 times, then maybe mix in a screen pass, and then throw it deep. That should be their modus operandi. He's a Bears fan, and he wants Jonathan Taylor. So I don't know if he's talking about Chicago or if he's talking about Green Bay, but I think it works for both teams. If you got a quarterback that is still evolving, it is weird because Jordan Love's been in the league longer.
The difference is the best running back on the Bears is Justin Fields.
That is true. I want to share a Packers hot take at some point, which is going to upset people. And it's not about Jordan Love, but it's about their running back room. But we'll get into that. I've touched on it in the past few times.
You tread lightly when you start talking about the Packers running back room right now. That is all we got as Packer fans. So you
Rutledge
off
is,
of there,
and here's what I will say for sure, though. Aaron Jones is unquestionably, I think, unquestionably top 10, probably top 5 running back in the NFL. So, I'm not besmirching Aaron Jones at all.
Unquestionably top 10 in the league.
I might smirch the other running back. But
Mr. Door County?
Well, that's the thing. He's beloved, and I think how much fans love him are overblowing his football abilities.
You son of
but
a
I don't
gun.
want to blow up the segment right now. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. This is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. The mountains blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
So we're going to ask this question first before I get Matt all mad. We'll do that a little later. We'll save that for later in the show. What statistic do you think is the most important evaluating Jordan Love? That'll be our Iron Jock poll question, 844-770-3776. The ones we're going to put on the poll, if you want to chime in with other ones, we can. But it's touchdown interception ratio, completion percentage, QB rating, and then wins.
I think that's good.
844-770-3776. Alex Strofe, I'm going to read off your tweet. Do you want to be a part of this as you're behind the glass here at the Everlight Solar Studio? or are you still just working on stuff back there?
I'm still working on stuff, but I'm happy to be a part of it. You're going to read my tweet?
I believe it was you. You can read your own tweet. You gave some stats. So you retweeted this, actually.
Lily Zhao from
Lily Zhao, we put this out there. So you put when's the fitting for the gold jacket was your
correct.
note. But no, these aren't the complete stats because one of the stats I read had yards per completion in it.
Well, that tweet doesn't have them in it, Jim.
Yes.
You could quickly do math, though. You just take the yards and divide it by the completed passes.
So anyways, I want to run through this. But here's the thing. Well, that's not important right now. So let's play this little game here. So let's read the stats from Jordan Love because we're going to ask TD interception ratio, completion percentage, QB rating, which is the most important, or wins. Obviously, wins in the preseason are not important. So I want to see how he's doing even just on the preseason right now.
Okay, so here are his stats through.
And Can we get some stat music?
Roughly 3/4 of play for Jordan Love. And yes, of course, Matt. Just ask kindly next time.
I did.
You didn't say please.
Oh, please, and thank you.
Alrighty.
Jordan Love threw about 3/4 in the preseason, all 3 games combined. 21 for 33, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
So if you average that out for a full game, that's like 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And you do that for 17 games. That's like he's gonna have like 60+ touchdowns and no interceptions this year.
Exactly why I'm asking about the gold jacket fitting.
Oh my goodness, he is going to be
under this logic, what do we do with Sean Clifford? Because he is also crushing it in the. So, do you play 2 quarterbacks at the same time? How does this work?
Yeah, you know what they say, Jimmy. If you've got 2 quarterbacks, you've got 2 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the old adage.
If you've got 2 quarterbacks, use them.
I mean, he's completing 73% of his passes.
I called a high school game on Thursday where every other play they switched quarterbacks. They scored 3 points.
So, I mean, because Sean Clifford's QB rating is in the almost 90.
I've heard of
Jordan Love 100 something.
I've heard of running good running backs out of like that wishbone formation. I think you could do that with quarterbacks, and the center just has the option to snap it left or right, depending on which quarterback it's supposed to get it.
Oh, yeah. So take Aaron Jones off the field to keep Sean Clifford on because he's one of your best 11.
Maybe put Aaron Jones in the middle and have 3 back there.
Oh, okay. So who are we taking off the field then? Musgrave?
Yeah.
Musgrave's got to
go.
go.
Musgrave.
Okay, yeah.
Or Reed.
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right. 2 guys nobody's excited about.
Not as excited as Sean Clifford.
You're damn straight.
He's the truth.
Yards per attempt is one that I think it's below 6. I think it's like a 5.7 for Jordan Love. That would be probably dead last in the league last year as far as a starting quarterback in the NFL. His yards per attempt against the Seahawks, which played all backups, was under 5.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean he won't be.
It's not as catastrophic of a stat if he limits the interceptions. In my head, like, okay, yards per attempt, not good, but that just makes any turnover from anybody, not just Jordan Love, but like running backs, wide receivers who drop the football, so fumbles or interceptions, it's going to make those way more detrimental. And I feel like with a young team, that's just something that's going to happen. So those yards per attempt, it can be low if you're extremely efficient. And I don't know if we can be extremely efficient with how youthful we are.
So 50th in the league last year was Desmond Ridder at 6.2 yards per attempt.
I mean, again, these are preseason stats.
Let me just tell you the leaders last year.
We're all taking them with a grain of salt.
Right, but I mean, we're not, though. Like,
we got to throw a little
all the
comparison
positive
on
ones were, hey, no grain of salt, let's just do it. So,
I mean, other than the 63 and touchdown interception ratio this year, that we're going to take that with a grain of salt.
So what I am saying is that his stats continue to back up my theory that he's some sort of Ryan Tannehill, Alex Smith hybrid. That he's got the physicality like Tannehill. He'll be efficient like Alex Smith. But Alex Smith was not known for his yards per attempt, airing it down the field regularly. Right. Can Jordan Love take deep shots down the field on play action in the right situation? Absolutely, and he can hit some of those. Is this going to be an air raid offense? Is this going to look like the offense under Aaron Rodgers in his prime?
No.
I think, yes, I think you're correct. I think it's going to look more like the 49ers with Brock Purdy. And look, that was a very efficient offense. Now, that defense was elite, but that offense was efficient. Brock Purdy. Like, if Jordan Love's Brock Purdy, are you good with that?
I mean, for the short term, for now, yeah. Do I think that's a guy who's going to be your next decade-long quarterback? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. I think you at least got to keep your eye on who's coming up.
Well, because it also
goes. It's
goes.
not like we have Aaron Rodgers, where you literally could have not looked at any quarterback in the draft for like 8 years and not had a care in the world. You know what I mean?
Because the things that you seem to like on it is the 67% completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a good QB rating.
Yeah.
So I don't know if those things are the key deciding factors. Let's get out 844-770-3776. Let's get out to Don in Sun Prairie. What's up, Don?
Hey guys, I just want to let you know that I am not a Jordan Love hater by any means. But I just want to remind Strofe and the rest of you that he has not played against a defensive starter yet from any one of these teams. None of one of these teams, Cincinnati, New England, or Seattle, played defensive starters.
Not many.
I'm cautiously optimistic, and I want to see Jordan do well, but we're going to slow the roll a little bit on the gold jacket.
Don, I thought you were my guy. What are we doing here?
Appreciate the call, Don.
Don, thanks for the call. So that's all I'm saying with Jordan Love. Not that he won't. Again, I'm convinced he will not be a bad NFL quarterback. The way he's playing right now, and even to the prospect he was at Utah State, he seems like a quarterback that could do really well in this system. And there is a ceiling to a system quarterback, but there is also a higher floor. So Jordan Love feels like a high floor, medium ceiling guy. Jimmy G, Brock Purdy, Ryan Tannehill, Alex Smith hybrid. That he will be efficient. I don't think there'll be a ton of interceptions. I don't think there's going to be a crazy amount of touchdowns. I think, for the most part, as long as he's not asked to try to lead comebacks, I don't think he's ever going to look over his skis or overwhelmed.
Right.
I think just at times there's going to be games where, let's say you play the Chiefs. Now, that's an extreme example, but you wouldn't have felt like this last year. So let's say you're playing the Chiefs at Lambeau Field. You're down 14-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Not good.
Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback. What do you feel?
Hope. I think we can still get back in this game.
And I think that's the difference you're going to feel this year with Jordan Love. Is down 14-0.
I'll probably decide I'll go check on the wings now and make sure
Hope that,
all my snacks for the Packer party
maybe I'll
are gonna
flip
be
over,
good.
see what my fantasy. I have a guy on the other channel. Let me see what he's doing for a minute. I'll flip back in a second. Because it's one of those things where, and I know that feeling of, you can get by with a quarterback. I mean, even when the Bears are winning, if they had Kyle Orton or Rex Grossman, they won games with, but you're down 14 points at halftime, that's probably over unless the defense does something amazing.
Here's the thing: if your team's no good, your food at your party better be good.
But that's not a bad team, even though that's just one of those times where, hey, Jordan Love can keep you in games, and if the defense is good and he can win you games, it's more than a game manager. I don't think he'll be a game manager. I think he'll be more than that.
Right.
But he's not a game changer, and that's kind of my stance on Jordan Love.
He has to prove he's a game changer. He's not going to be given
it's
that.
Pretty long into his. Rich Gannon's a guy who got it late in his career and got his team to the Super Bowl. Again,
I'm
not a game
still not going to
changer.
say that I don't think he can do it. I'm just saying I feel like we would have seen it by now.
The preponderance of evidence shows that Jordan Love is a high floor and TBD, but probably medium ceiling player, which is, again, a good NFL quarterback, which would be a fine pick. That's not a...
Maybe not quite gold jacket worthy there, Strofe, but a good pick nonetheless.
Watch it.
Daniel Sloth chimes in. I'll have a better opinion after about 5 to 6 weeks when other teams have legitimate film against Love. And that's a good point because I was listening to a podcast today on the Athletic Network. It was with Chase Daniel and Robert Mays. They were breaking down some of the quarterbacks, and they were saying that coordinators hate the first 4 weeks of the season because everything you're working on was last year. So there's no tape on Jordan Love in this offense for the Packers. So that should look good. But on the reverse, Jordan Love, coming into week 1 and Matt LaFleur trying to work out this offense, has no idea with the Bears' new personnel. They might throw a few new things at you. But he said that's what separates, Chase Daniel was talking about, that's what separates quarterbacks. And this is what we don't know about Jordan Love. What happens if you go into Chicago and you go, hey, they're going to run the base cover 2, this is what they do every time. And then Chicago decides, we're doing something completely different for this game. And you don't have the answers. You don't have film. Now what do? Aaron Rodgers or veteran QBs don't blink an eye at that.
Yeah.
Rookie QBs have to then what happens, and this is another term I've used, and we just don't know the answer for it.
Plan and it's
the Etch-a-Sketch. You have the Etch-a-Sketch all drawn out. There's a decent amount of quarterbacks in this league that can play with the Etch-a-Sketch if it's not shaken up. But what happens is right before the play, the defense shakes up the Etch-a-Sketch, and now what? Can you, Aaron
Did you
Rodgers?
just say you've used that before?
No, I said I've heard that before.
Okay, I was going to say I've never heard you use that.
I like that. But Aaron Rodgers could just draw a new etch sketch in the middle of the play.
Yeah.
We don't know if Jordan Love could do that. Probably not, because that's Aaron Rodgers is one of one.
Yeah.
Like most quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins can't do that, and Kirk Cousins is a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah. No, Jordan Love is going to be in for a wild
But
ride.
I do not think he will be bad. That much, I do think, worst case scenario, he's some sort of league average quarterback. I just think best case scenario, he's Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins sort of type of guy. This is Rutledge and Hamilton. Maybe at some point, Sean Clifford will have to revive the Packers season. And look, some Packer fans, those Clifford truthers out there, are excited about the opportunity, but I know you're excited about our friends at Revive Restoration because you sent them to one of your friends.
Yeah, that's right. I did. My friend Phil came home on a Sunday, found out that his basement had been flooded since Friday. So what did he do?
Oh, no.
He started shop backing stuff up, and I'm like, Phil, stop that. Call my friend Josh at Revive Restoration. They'll take care of you. He went on to the RevivePros.com website. They have a 24/7 response team. They got back to Phil immediately. By Tuesday, everything was ripped out and dried up. They're already in the process of getting their basement back to normal. Any sort of accident, whether it's smoke, fire, mold remediation, maybe it's asbestos removal, whatever it may be, Revive Restoration has your back for your home or business. There's no job too big or too small. So the next time you've got an accident and you need to make things right again, call our friend Josh at Revive Restoration. Tell him Jim and Matt sent you. That's Revive Restoration and the RevivePros.com.
We'll give some early poll results on the other side. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's face it, talking about life insurance is never easy. But after we watched a close friend lose her husband with no insurance, we decided that wasn't going to happen to our family.
Yeah, but shopping for life insurance can be almost as difficult as talking about it.
But then we heard about Ethos Life Insurance. They're a new kind of life insurance, built for people on a busy schedule who don't have time for unnecessary doctor's visits, fine print, or hidden fees. You know, who want to keep it simple.
I couldn't believe how easy it was. We answered a few basic questions, and within minutes, we had an estimate of what it would cost and what sort of policy made sense for us.
I never imagined a life insurance could be so affordable.
And accessible.
The peace of mind knowing that our future is secure, it just removes a lot of the fear around getting older and...
Yeah, the unexpected.
I'm glad we talked about it.
I'm glad we went with ethoslife.com.
Go to getethos.com now for your free estimate. That's getethos.com. Getethos.com.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview of the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Working at a company that truly cares and invests in their employees should never be taken for granted. Work, learn, and earn at the Weld School at Stoughton Trailers. The program includes 1 week of paid training starting at $18 per hour and features small class sizes designed for individual attention. No prior experience is needed because teaching their employees is all part of the Stoughton Trailers way. Graduate into a full-time position in Stoughton or Evansville. Apply today at stojobs.com. That's stojobs.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
We tend not to think about right now.
But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking. By you. Donate at V.org. Because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
The summer of lower prices continues at Fleet Farm. Take Sprout Vitamin Feed Supplement for livestock. 25-pound bags, now only $19.99. And for you birders, KT Midwest Regional Blend is just $12.99 for a 7-pound bag. Plus, get 12 mega rolls of Quilted Northern Ultra for only $12.99. And enjoy Fleet Farm Beef Jerky for just $8.79 a pack. Look for new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life with price drops at Fleet Farm.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Medicine.
Every minute, it's running through my head. 100 million thoughts that I could have said. Then every minute, it starts over again. Do-do-do-do. Knocking at your door. The world outside is waiting.
Which statistic will you mainly use to measure Jordan Love's success in 2023? This is not a good one for Jordan Love. 47% of you say wins.
What?
Followed by touchdown to interception ratio, which was my vote. QB rating.
Wins are not a quarterback stat.
I agree, especially in the regular season. Now, I do believe there's something to be said, because all quarterbacks are held to the same standard, that in the playoffs, it matters more for the quarterback. You're the star. It's a one-game thing. In a one game, it's the NBA, the NFL playoffs similar like the NCAA tournament. Like, one guy can make a difference. So, in the playoffs, I do think wins and losses carry a little bit more weight for a quarterback. But in general, I agree, wins are not a QB stat. But just to wipe that away and say, like, oh, well, person X didn't have a lot of Super Bowls, so it doesn't matter. No, it matters because, look, everyone's held to the same standard. So, I will give you in the regular season, especially, though, wins are not a quarterback stat. 844-770-3776. Because you can have a meh or a slightly above average. Brock Purdy is an example. Like, Brock Purdy, I think, is a beneficiary of a system that fits his skill set perfectly and a lot of talent around him, plus an elite defense. So he goes out, plays efficient football, defense keeps him in games. At some point, someone makes a play for him, and he goes out there and he doesn't lose the game for you, and then one of his playmakers goes and makes a play for you.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and I think that's honestly what LaFleur wanted or wants. Maybe not, like, I'm not saying he was orchestrating this anything with Rodgers, but I think at the end of the day, this is what he had designed an offense around, and now he finally gets it. He gets a little avatar that gets to go out under center and run the play the way he wants it to be run.
And I don't think that's crazy. Erica Madison chimes in with a good question. 844-770-3776. I'll let the two of you answer it, because I think I have my answer. Erica Madison wants to know, who has a higher floor, Jordan Love or Justin Fields?
I think it kind of depends on what you want from Justin Fields. I think if you're looking for a rushing quarterback for the next 5 years, he can really, and you utilize him as that, I think he could be a really effective quarterback in the NFL. If you're talking like longevity, I think Jordan Love's got a little bit better knack for being a pocket passer currently, but
in theory,
yeah, again, this is based off of what I've seen. That's as much as you guys, which is a whole lot of next to nothing. But I do like what I've seen from Jordan Love, a little, like his movement in the pocket. So I do like his pocket presence. So I would say for the long term, I think Jordan Love's got a higher ceiling, but in the short term...
Wait, it wasn't a ceiling question. It was a floor question. I don't think anyone's arguing the ceiling for Love.
Oh, right.
I think Fields has got a higher ceiling, unquestionably. Because Fields' ability to run the football and be elite at that...
Yeah, I think for this year and the next couple, using his youth,
yeah, but still,
he's not going to be young forever.
Yeah, but still, like that just lifts him to a whole nother level. Like, even if he turns into Lamar Jackson, that was an MVP. Like, the running ability of Fields puts him on a different tier for ceiling. Now, floor, I think Love might have a higher floor because I think Fields is a little bit more dynamic in what he could be as far as like he could just be RG3 or one of those QBs that burn out in the league. Or he could be Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. And I don't see elite from Jordan Love, but I do see a higher floor. So I say the higher ceiling is Justin Fields, but the higher floor is Jordan Love.
Well, I'll just say this. This weekend, I was at the Brewers game on Saturday. I had a few Coors Lights, and by a few, I mean many. And I may have purchased a Jordan Love jersey on my way home in the backseat of my friend's truck. Therefore, my answer here is the jersey that I will wear for the next 15 years prior to him being inducted into Canton, and that would be Jordan Love. In all seriousness, though, we know more about Fields, right? And we know he has a ridiculous amount of talent. Nobody's disputing that. But I do worry about, as Matt mentioned, the pocket presence. I do worry about some of his.
See, the pocket presence, I'm going to push back on it because he was the most pressured quarterback. The pocket collapsed on him regularly.
I understand.
So, like, his presence was he was running around.
And he made the most of it.
Now, I'm asking this question because I think he has a really good pocket presence. Now, you could make a case, is he rattled now? Because obviously I watched other games. He tried to make throws and then would run when he absolutely had to, and there was a lot of design runs for him. Now, I would say his ability to sit and go through 4 reads in the pocket, to me that's different. That's like reading the defense as opposed to pocket presence. So maybe we're splitting hairs here. That pocket presence, he doesn't get sacked unless someone's like 2 or 3 guys are racing through.
Correct.
Now, if he's dropping back and feeling comfortable to go through 3 reads, then I'll give you. But again, we don't know anything about Love. But go ahead.
No, we don't, and that's why it's hard for me to say it's Love. And I probably won't. I would probably say Fields has the higher floor just because there's more known there. But could my opinion change in 3 weeks? Of course it could. I just feel like there's more to know about Fields right now than there is Love, so I'd give him the higher floor. But I do think, as we've talked about throughout the course of the preseason, Love's floor has risen in the past 3 weeks than it was when preseason started.
And again,
Fields could go out there and rush for 1,000 yards this season, and you wouldn't even realize he was rushing that much. Like he is going to chunk up yards with his feet. His floor is going to be high if he throws 15
so it's just different ways
passes
to look
a game.
at it because, like, I look at it that he could be if he's an average passer, he's Lamar Jackson with his running ability.
Right.
If Jordan Love's an average passer, he's out of the league in 5 years. So, like, that's why I say the ceiling is higher. But Love's floor is like he could be in the like. There's still a bust potential for Fields that he's just out of the league in a couple years
because he's
taking I don't even think it's the hits. I just think at some point, if he cannot elevate himself to being a league average QB, then I think it'll end up hurting as far as throwing the football. You can't build a team around a guy if they can't at least throw the ball some. But I do think like Love seems to have the traditional look to him as far as he'll be pocket QB, make the easy throws, run your offense. That guy could be in the league a long time as a number 2 or as a stopgap QB. Of hey, this guy isn't doing it. Let's have Jordan Love be a quarterback for a year or 2 while we develop another young quarterback, Andy Dalton type.
Yeah.
And so like that could be in the league for a long time. Maybe we can figure out a way to make a bet on this because I'm trying to look up the cost because I don't want to go crazy on what it would cost. But have you guys seen it? There is a NFL championship belt for every NFL team.
WWE, baby.
I think we should place some sort of bet, whether it's on the Fields Love thing or Packers Bears, that the loser has to buy the belt for the other person.
How much is it?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I haven't
like $150.
I think it's more than that.
I've seen. Okay.
What do you mean? Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to.
I'm not going to go more than that. Like, so we'll. Pending, I've been trying to look up the cost of it. The links take you to just a generic site for like NFL.com or Fanatics, but
it doesn't take you to WWE Shop.
That was one too, but I didn't click on that one. I didn't want that in my purview of internet history. Like
why?
I don't want ads served to me about WWE, so I don't want it. I don't want it there. Anyways,
you'll never find out what The Rock is cooking.
Robert Madison chimes in with an off-the-wall question: are tater tots an acceptable snack for NFL Sundays?
Yes,
absolutely.
You do nothing with them, just put them out.
I mean, I'd do tot nachos or something, but even if you just put them out with wings or something else, yeah, it's a side. know that it's a side dish. It is not a main unless you add more things to it.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, they can
You
get...
can't just put out a bowl of tots and be like, enjoy, everybody.
Do you put out, like, a bowl of French fries? Like,
I mean,
with,
if
like,
I
wings?
had, like, wings.
$549.
Well, never mind then.
Okay, this is... Yeah, for a belt. He found a price for a belt.
Nobody's buying that.
There's
That is
fantasy
insane.
football belts that you can get for your fantasy
But
football
that's not
league.
what we're referring to. He's referring to the ones that the WWE and the NFL released
That
this morning.
is insane.
Oh,
That is
the
agree.
actual belt? Oh, I thought we were just saying, like, here's like
no,
a
there
fun
was
little,
like
gambling
They
belt
put
that
one
we
out,
have.
and I thought they'd be like $100 to $200 because
no.
What? Who buys that of your favorite team? A belt for over $500? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Do not spend your money on that.
I mean, people get tattoos of their favorite team winning the Super Bowl before they win the Super Bowl.
$500? That's insane.
$550.
$550.
It's a lot more expensive than the Jordan Love jersey.
Those are going to be on sale. Those are like halfway through the year. Those are going to be like
Those
a
are gonna
Fanatics
sell out,
difference.
dog.
Packers one was last sold 13 minutes ago.
I mean, goodness gracious, $500. That's a car payment.
That's absurd.
That's
absurd.
That is a lot. You know what? I bet you Canopy Wealth Management. I can't speak for them, but I'm going to tell you that's probably not. They would probably tell you that's not a good investment. Canopy Wealth Management. They have a balanced approach that helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape, creating a personalized wealth management experience for you throughout your family financial journey. They will serve as a partner, an advocate, and a steward in all aspects, and they'll offer their expertise to help you achieve your goals with confidence. When you work with Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't a tagline; it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial journey today. That's canopy-wealth.com. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to
$500?
Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt. You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. The wait is over, Badgers fans. It's officially game week, which means it's time to look at some of the numbers inside the 2023 Wisconsin football team. 5 days from game day means we take a look at number 55, the fifth-year senior, Muma Jongmeta. Jongmeta returns for his fifth year after a monster 2022 season on the Wisconsin defense, leading the team with 95 tackles and log sacks in the final 4 games of the regular season. Jongmeta is on the watch list for 3 individual awards, so the expectations are high for the fifth-year senior.
Bundle a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin at PellaWI.com.
The dog days of summer are here, so wind down with a couple cans of beer from Lake Louie Brewing. Whether it's an IPA, a Pilsner, or a Pale Ale, you can expect a beer that's flavorful, easy drinking, and always ready to roll. Enjoy Lake Louie's classic and award-winning Badger Club Amber, or crack open the new Lil Louie American. With 10 IBUs and 4.2 alcohol by volume, Lil Louie is a lighter, crisper, and a little more refreshing than your standard American lager. Care less and live more with Lake Louie. Enjoy responsibly.
Listen to Rutledge and Hamilton every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win 2 different types of beer from Lake Louie Brewing. The famous Badger Club Amber and the new Lil Louie American Lager. Lil Louie, it's a crisp and refreshing American lager that satisfies the thirst of everyone seeking that classic American style. Lil Louie also pairs great with the classic Badger Club Amber, an easy drinking lager for easygoing folks. Listen every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win some free beer. This month, it's Lake Louie's Badger Club and Lil Louie Lager. 2:45 every Thursday.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com Or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Stoughton Hospital and the Ortho Team Clinic. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee. So the goal for me is always to see patients who want to get back to their active lifestyle. The techniques that I use now allow patients to return back to the activities, including sports, faster than ever before.
Learn more at orthoteam.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Rutledge and Hamilton live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I am Rutledge. He is Hamilton. And one thing I know about Matt Hamilton is he loves a good bush.
That I do. I love not having to worry about my landscaping. I love knowing that I have the best team in southern Wisconsin in my corner in Olson Toon. That's right, Olson Toon. They've got landscaping, yard work, they've got maintenance, concrete work, pools, and more. If you've got an outdoor living space need, large or small, Olson Toon is here to help. They got my front yard back on track. Weeds were growing in. I had trees going in places that shouldn't have trees. I needed a little bit more privacy, so I added some extra bushes to my front yard, and they can help you get on track too, or whatever your outdoor living need is. They do it for businesses, homes, whatever you're looking for. Olson Toon is here to help. You can go to olsontoon.com and get started on your next outdoor living space project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Matt, did you fill out the intent to compete form for the men's national and mixed doubles national championships?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good, because USA Curl just tweeted that they need people to submit their intent to compete form, and I was a little bit worried about you.
Strofe, should we intend to compete?
Can anybody sign up?
I think it's a couple bucks, but yeah.
Get a sponsor.
Yeah. Jimmy, let's do it. Let's make a team. Me, you, and who?
How about Molly and Russo?
This is either mixed doubles or men's and women's. So Molly couldn't play.
We couldn't play Molly. We couldn't be with Molly.
Okay, so Russo and Wollersheim.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Or we could do.
Or Chris Orr.
Do Jim and I qualify for the junior men's nationals?
No.
How old do you have to be?
I am not a junior.
Oh well, shoot. My dream is ruined.
What is a worse deal? The YouTube NFL ticket or the wrestling
It's
belt?
the wrestling belt, without a doubt. It's like over twice as much as Sunday ticket.
But that is a ridiculous number for YouTube for the Sunday ticket.
What is it, $250?
But you get every game, right?
$449.
Oh.
Ooh.
But you get every
honestly, I'd probably rather have that for the season than that's.
But that's like a job then.
Yeah, but that belt is.
I don't want either.
What the heck would you want it for?
But like $449 is like, you know what? It's nice outside, but I got to watch some games to justify spending $449. Like the belt's a capital expense.
Here's the thing.
You have it forever.
It's really here.
This is per season.
If you buy it and you still can't convince your friends to come over and watch the game, you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror.
So you think you're buying friends?
If it can't even buy friends, you're in trouble. I won't, because I'm gone too many Sundays.
But you could travel with it, in theory.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I'm playing. I oftentimes curl at noon on Sunday.
Someone's had a high opinion of yourself. You're making it that far in the tournament that you're curling.
Yeah, I plan on playing on a lot of Sundays this season.
How'd that go for you last year?
Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
All right. So probably about the same amount.
Yeah.
You'll have some Sundays free then.
Well, I mean, based on your
last...
critique, if my curling world was like the NFL and you were talking about it, it was like, well, Matt had a down year last year. No reason to expect him to get better. So I would probably trade Hamilton away off of Team Schuster.
Wait, no, I don't know if you had a bad year, but your team got to the World Championship. So that's like getting to the Super Bowl. So your team did fine.
Okay. Yeah,
maybe you didn't have the best regular season record. I have no idea, but you got to the Super Bowl.
True. That's true. I guess
you break that team up.
Yeah, we can't break that team.
My knock on Rodgers was he didn't even get back to the Super Bowl. You've won the Super Bowl and you've gotten back a few times.
That's a good point. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So you've been to back-to-back Super Bowls because you.
Well, I think it's kind of
went to the Olympics and then the
Worlds.
To the Worlds. So then, like, Worlds are equivalent of the Olympics when there's not the Olympics.
Yeah, it's the yearly Olympics. It's the yearly World Championship.
So back-to-back. Like, so that's something that Rodgers has never done.
Back. I'm not falling apart in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, there you go. You fall apart in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl.
You're like John Elway back in the day, like
I'm like
choking away in the Super Bowl.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. Well, he got one though. So like Elway got one later in his career. Jim Kelly never got one. Matt got he's got a Super Bowl.
I guess that's
ring.
a fair point.
Yeah. Otherwise he'd be like Dan Marino or something.
But who won early and then got back and never won again?
Rodgers?
Well, kind of, but he never made it back.
Breeze?
How early? He was decently in, though.
Yeah, he was on the Saints.
Favre was pretty early, too. But he got back the next year.
A few times.
Yeah, just
one other time.
Yeah, the next year, right?
Got there a few times. I know.
There you go. It's a good question. Who's the football quarterback equivalent of Matt Hamilton? 844-770-3776. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
Matt Hamilton here for Iron Jock. Believe it or not, being an Olympic curler takes a lot of practice time on the ice. And despite always being cool, I still work up a sweat. That's why I love Iron Jock and their no-stink technology. Silver Iron technology is the how behind why it works, and that is about as technical as I can get with it. What I do know is that if I'm on the ice or just wanting to look good, I know Iron Jock has t-shirts, polos, and hoodies for me. Support this Wisconsin-based company today and get gear at ironjoc.com. That's ironjock.com.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Yeah, it is. I'm Alex Stroh, your Sports Center update brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. I was there this weekend. The Aaron's Art of Wheels Vintage Weekend wraps up the 2023 Road America race season September 15th through the 17th. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Preseason in the books for the Green Bay Packers. They finished the preseason with a record of 2-1, but that wipes away now 0-0 ahead of next week's Week 1 matchup with the Chicago Bears. Jordan Love, the new QB1 in three preseason games combined, went a total of 21 for 33, 193 yards, and 3 touchdown passes. Probably start fitting him for the gold jacket. Continued coverage on all things green and gold leading up to the opener next week over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Cut down day, exactly 24 hours from right now. Actually, 23 hours and 57 minutes from right now. Only one cut so far for the Packers, and it was a little bit of a shocker. Pat O'Donnell, the veteran punter, cut. Daniel Whelan will be the punter for the Packers in 2023. Baseball, the Brewers have won an MLB long 8 in a row, 4 games above the Cubs, but they start a series with the Cubs tonight at 7:10.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
You got to chill.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
Way to go, Stroke. I'm not a fat hater here.
Adult film stars, Matt Hamilton.
No, don't be start.
Be curious, not judgmental.
Jim Rutledge, he's fake tough.
Working by a billion.
Pressure.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio. With Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Fran Tarkington was the name that someone chimed in on, but Fran never won.
Fran never won it. Trying to think of a guy who won fairly early in his career and hasn't made it. Maybe Russell?
Russell Wilson?
Did he ever make it back to another Super Bowl?
Yes. That was the one where they did not hand it off to
Oh, that's
Marshawn
right.
Lynch.
And they intercepted on the
Malcolm
goal
Butler,
line.
yeah.
Yes. I think Russell Wilson's a pretty close one then.
Yeah, because you made it to the medal round, so it wasn't like
it
wasn't like a
and it was
bad performance.
back-to-back Olympics not since it wasn't quite Olympics is. It wasn't quite back-to-back Super Bowls, but it was back-to-back Olympics. Sizz.
Do you pet a dog, or do you pet it is a word that drives me insane?
I petted the dog before.
The dog loves to be petted. No. Pet.
Yeah,
Pet.
no,
Always.
I don't do that. I was literally just a misstep on my part.
I even correct my kids on that one, even though they're young. I'm like, I don't want at any point it's pet. Like, don't even get it in your brain. Otherwise, which statistic will you mainly use to measure Jordan Love's success in 2023? Is the question we are asking. Our Iron Jock poll question. 44% of you say wins.
I know. I'm going to retweet this now and see if we can't get this over 100 votes because we need a good.
We're pretty close to it, so maybe you need to put your finger on the scale there because I had touchdown interception ratio, which is a close second. QB rating and completion percentage are up there as well. Wins is a tough one to gauge things on
real
in the
one.
regular season for a quarterback.
Not only do I think it's not the best gauge of a quarterback, it's not the best gauge of this team necessarily moving forward. You're going to be looking in between the lines at the talent level of this team, not at this black and white win-loss section of the statistics. So, I mean, not just are we basing this off of Jordan Love, there's a lot of other players that have a lot riding on this season, hoping to dear God that Goody and everybody at the top of the Packers organization is not exclusively looking at win-loss as their basis for success or not.
Jeff in Janesville chimes in with Jim McMahon as far as a quarterback comparison for Matt Hamilton. We'll take your calls on that 844-770-3776. Are we still efforting Jim McMahon, or we give up on that? He's still tweeting. His birthday was the other day.
I'm sad to report I do not believe it is him that is tweeting.
No, that's too bad. All right, well, it's Jim McMahon. One of my favorite QBs growing up, but Matt Hamilton is kind of a Jim McMahon vibe, especially as a curler.
I could get behind that one.
There you go. So that's a good one there from Jeff in Janesville. And then Eric and Madison chimes back in. Fran made 3 Super Bowls.
He did.
So, but I guess the difference is still it matters that you won one. Fran's not a bad one, but we won one. McNabb, but again, McNabb didn't win it. So we can't. For all due respect to Matt Hamilton, we can't ignore that he won one.
My dub.
We can't forget that Matt did win just a gold medal. I mean, it's just one, but
I mean, like the opener says, everyone's ego takes a shot on this show. But everybody's ego takes a shot on this show. Come on, give me at least a Super Bowl champion comp.
Well, you know what?
Right? Back me up here.
I work out at Carbon World Health. I take semaglutide to keep my glutes tight and also help me lose weight. I'm down to about 8.5% body fat. I've dropped nearly 30 pounds. The weight's staying off. I keep on getting in better shape. It's nice when you work out there. You have the heart rate monitor. Now when I'm working out, good or bad, I have to push a little harder to get into the red because I'm in better shape. So now it's when you first go there, and I was worried about Alex Stroh's help. If we had Alex go be a part of, do a little training there, Stroh be in the red real quick. And then they tell you, hey, calm down. Let's pull it back, buddy. We don't want you passing out here. And so now I have to go extra hard to get in the red. It's nice when you first start working out, you get in the red easy, and it's like, okay, I'm burning 1,000 calories. Now I got to work extra hard to burn those calories. But the team over there, whether it's a training team, whether it's Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, or the entire team over there, they're fantastic at Carbon World Health. Matt, maybe a little extra working out where he'll help you get that gold medal next time.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you do the cryo?
I can get to one more like Fran.
Maybe it's like a superhero thing for you, though, because you compete on the ice. So maybe like a little cryo, it will give you a little, it's like the opposite of your kryptonite, fill you up.
I could go out there in swimmer's attire and just have no excuse for drag when I'm sliding.
There you go.
Of this cumbersome
be
shirt.
Completely clean shaven, the whole thing.
Yeah, these cumbersome pants.
Yep.
No, not anymore.
CarbonWorldHealth.com. You can sign up for the 6-week experience, figure out what the right treatment is for you. So we'll take your calls on Matt Hamilton QB comparisons.
So we are past the statute of limitations since Matt has won.
I'm sorry, what?
Statute of limitations?
Okay, that was better.
I missed the second tee the first time?
You did
Yes.
the first. The statue of limitations. I love it.
You know what I was going
Yeah,
for.
I sure do. Fire away there, shooter.
Ooh, Jeff in Janesville has a good request that I would like Matt to take a run at. He wants to get a curling gold shuffle instead of the Super Bowl shuffle.
Oh!
Yeah.
But once again, we're past the statute of limitations. We're 5 years too late on that.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I could maybe
No,
win
but
it this next go around.
Yeah, because they did it before they won the Super Bowl. So you get Team Schuster doing a curling gold shuffle.
I love it.
We Are USA's curling crew, curling on down, doing it for you.
As long as you and I can make a cameo in the video, I'm in.
All right. We didn't come here to start no trouble. We just came here to do the curling gold shuffle. I know all the lyrics to the Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah.
You think that shocks me, but it doesn't.
It's so cool.
It is the coolest.
How old were you in '85?
5.
Okay.
So it doesn't really register to me. But
Well, it did later on, though.
what do you mean?
Because you know all the words now.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, obviously I was 5 and,
It
like...
was almost 40 years ago.
Right. No, I know.
Okay, I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
I'm not saying it was like a cool... I mean, it was fun. I'm not hanging on. I'm just saying that they won it. All right. What were you going to go to?
Yeah, you're about
You started
to
to say something.
dump on me for something.
Yeah.
No, I just don't think we can count the Super Bowl / curling gold anymore. It's been over 5 years.
Oh, that was your statue of limitations.
You're no better than Jeff Garcia, bro.
Jeff Garcia didn't win a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
You could call him like Trent Dilfer. At least he got a ring.
Yeah, he just rode coattails like Matt.
Matt, do you want to take a minute and go, I don't know, stick a curling broom
No,
somewhere?
I'll just push him off of my coattails here on the show.
Ooh, there you go. Maybe
Get off my
push-
radio coattails, Stroh.
Is my time limited?
Maybe. Eric Madison, another one. Nick Foles. Big Matt energy. You'll take that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely take that.
That's what we call you, Big Matt.
We'll
so.
post
No, we
a
call
photo.
him-
We'll post a photo of me and Nick Foles
So it's-
later here in the show.
It's Big Richard Nick and Big Fat Matt.
No, I thought it was.
Whoa!
I thought it was premature coronation Matt and Big
Yeah.
Big Nick.
Yeah.
Fair.
Both of those are real great.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Whichever. Everyone's ego takes a shot
Big
at the
Bat
show.
Matt.
What?
Big Bat Matt.
Big broomstick Matt.
Okay. Moving on.
Worst nicknames, Matt Hamilton. I'll tell you that.
There are.
But it's short broomstick, broken broomstick,
Curved broomstick.
full broomstick, the too brushy. I don't know. It's just a lot out there.
Too
Matt Hamilton.
brushy.
I don't know if I could use the other
There
word,
is
so I'm going to
not a lot of things more satisfying than watching a bush.
go. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
Pick up everything you need to wrap up summer and head into Labor Day at Fleet Farm. Get deals on cookout favorites and snacks like an American Gourmet 3-burner gas grill by Charbroil, on sale $149.99. A 16-pound bag of Kingsford charcoal briquettes, $9.99. 24-pack of Fleet Farm bottled water, just $3. And 1-pound bags of pistachios are just $6.49. We have what you need for your everyday life. Fleet Farm.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Metro Kia of Madison knows that inflation might be pinching your budget, and they want to help. With 80 new vehicles on the lot and offers like 2.9% APR financing for 48 months on 2023 Kia Souls, 22.30 per 1,000 borrowed, now is the time to buy. Receive a $500 Visa gift card and 2 years, no charge maintenance included with new vehicle purchases. 90 days deferred payments available to qualified credit. The deals are at Metro Kia of Madison. Learn more at metrokiaofmadison.com. That's metrokiaofmadison.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The Prairie Athletic Club offers more for your money than any other health club in the area. Train in CrossFit, Pilates, hot yoga, and over 150 group fitness classes organized per week. Or upgrade to the PAC's new Platinum membership for unlimited access to these sessions, along with Training Zone and Boot Camp classes. Then get outside at the Dolphins Cove Water Park and the Prairie Pines Golf Club in Sun Prairie. Call, stop by, or visit prairieathletic.com today. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, and community.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things. The one-of-a-kind wood-fired flavor of a Traeger Ironwood XL grill. And football. That's right, Desmond Howard. Get fired up for the game in just a tap with Traeger's intuitive touchscreen. Then throw on your favorites and monitor the grill from anywhere with Wi-Fi technology. So you spend less time staring at the grill, which means more time for football. For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like, sorry I'm late, my battery died. And
I need a jump, again.
At America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Carbon World Health.
Holding me back. I want you to hold out.
That's right, Matt Hamilton. We are already at Throwing Stones. He may have sworn during the commercial break there, folks. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. He said, holy smokes, Batman, we're already at Throwing Stones. And I said, yes, Matt Hamilton, we are. He likes to call me Batman from time to time. It's a thing we do.
Is that true? No, totally. It's a thing we do.
Yep.
I don't believe you.
Did you believe that he's got a photo with the one Nick Foles?
Like most things that Matt does, he showed me.
The photo? He is Alex Strofe. I am Jim Rutledge. That cackle.
You just incriminated both of us, Strofe.
That is a cackle from Matt Hamilton. This is Rutledge and Hamilton live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Make sure to do the Let's Go Red pub crawl Thursday, September 7th, 5:30 to 9. Great places like the Red Zone, State Street Brats, College Club, and Wando's will give you an opportunity. There's 15 chances to win this amazing bike. But I say this, it's a what kind of cruiser bike? Is that what you'd call that, Matt Hamilton?
Yeah, beach cruiser.
Beach cruiser bike there with the Let's Go Red colors on it, and you get free T-shirts and koozies throughout the pub crawl.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Schwinn, but it kind of looks like an old Schwinn with like the banana seat almost.
Yes, exactly. A beach cruiser, I think, is a great way to describe it. All right, let's throw some stones.
The guys think they have the answers to everything.
I'm the best there is.
People like me.
So it's time to put them to the test.
That's some booty, Jim.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
It is time to throw some stones here on Rutledge and Hamilton. Each and every day I scour the interwebs to figure out what the heck has happened in the last 72. I've got questions. Jim and Matt have answers. I'll score them throughout, and at the end we will crown a winner of Monday's edition of Throwing Stones. Fellas, we start with U.S. Olympic runner Noah Lyles from over the weekend at a press conference.
World champion of what? The United States?
You know, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
So, Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton, I start with you. Inbounds or out of bounds by Noah Lyles over the weekend?
That's inbounds. One thing I think is fair to point out is he's in a sport that is extremely limited by your physical prime. He's got 4 or 5, maybe 6 years to make a name for himself. You've got to have hot comments like this. He's not entirely wrong. Like, yes, the sport of track and field does not have the fan base that basketball or football or even Major League Baseball have. And that's part of the system. Like, he gets it. We all get it. But that's kind of the, like, shocking thing that you're going to say to get your name in the headlines and get on to Throwing Stones on Rutledge and Hamilton 2-4.
I'll say this. The only sport that I truly buy that in is possibly baseball, that maybe there's a better baseball team in the world because that's truly a world sport. I'm sorry. Do you believe there's a team out there that would have beaten the Nuggets?
No.
Is there a team out there that would have beaten the Chiefs last year in the world?
No.
So they're not world sports. So
right.
I think they're trying to be. Baseball is truly the closest to a world sport because the NBA, look, right now the Team USA is competing and winning in the, I don't know if it's some sort of national championship for basketball right now, and they're out there winning. And so I would say the only
a world championship.
There you go. Yeah, it holds water for baseball. The rest, I'm sorry. Give me a team that could remotely compete, and we can worry about it.
I get it. His whole thing is like, that's all you get. That's all you get a chance at as a track and field athlete is to be a world champion. Like football, it's a little different. That's just that is their Super Bowl. That is their yearly championship, and he just wants a little bit more respect put on it. So
I'll give you this.
I see where he's coming from.
The bigger respect I put on it is the once in 4 years.
Yeah, Olympic gold.
Yeah, like that to me is like, okay, it's high-level pressure.
That's crazy, too, because in a sport like that, you might be the best for 3 years, and it might just land in between the two Olympics. It's such a wild, volatile sport that I don't blame him for trying to get his right now. So that honestly, I think it was a great press conference. It's got people talking on national and local news. Like, good for him for getting whatever spotlight that's coming to him. I just hope he can handle the backlash of people that disagree.
Nice discussion. All right, I mentioned earlier I purchased a Jordan Love jersey over the weekend. I also purchased purchased in the same order a Jordan Love rookie card. Jim Rutledge, I ask you.
You were all in on Jordan Love this weekend.
Jimmy, I ask you, what's the better investment, the jersey or the rookie card?
I would say the jersey because you're going to have it longer. I don't think the rookie card's going to carry value.
That's funny.
I got it for 99 cents, but I got to get it graded now.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to. I don't think
$50 to get it graded.
I don't think it's going to carry enough. I don't think he's going to be good enough to carry a real value. I don't think it'll be worth what it costs to get graded. Your jersey you're going to have for a long time. Unless you're like my brother, who I think ripped off a jersey of his watching a Bear game. He was so mad. But in general, I would say that your Jordan Love jersey will last you 5 years until he's moved off the team. So I would say that the Jordan Love jersey will have longer longevity, and so that's why I say it's more valuable.
I'm on the opposite note, Strofe. As you have stated multiple times, Jordan Love is already getting fitted for Canton right now. You know that rookie card is going to be worth some money. You're going to have so much Coors Light spilled on that Jordan Love jersey. There's going to be glizzy juice from tailgating dripping all over your Jordan Love jersey. You are not even going to be able to keep that thing in proper shape for 5 years. The card, on the other hand, is going to go into a drawer, and that's going to last forever.
Stop talking.
Come on, you love glizzies. Oh, Stroh.
Can I, side note,
Lizzie juice.
Ew, that's gross.
I know, that was the point.
Cards are too confusing for me now. That, like, I would imagine, because if you got it for 99 cents, I would imagine that the peak value of that card is like $5. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like
it's ungraded.
But when you go to a store, like, a pack of cards feels like it's $15 now. If you want to buy a card that actually could be worth something, like, it's too confusing to figure out where would I even buy a card that holds value. Because not in the old days where you just open up a pack and be like, oh, good.
But that's what people do nowadays.
What's that?
Is they buy a pack, open it up, and if you get like a Jordan Love rookie card, you're like, oh, sweet, I bought this pack for $5.
Right.
This card might.
But I would imagine that that's not the one that he opened up.
Well, no, it's all dependent on what Jordan Love does. Right now, that he might have overspent with 99 cents on a rookie card.
Like, what's the
if
peak?
Jordan
No,
Love
I'm saying, what's the peak of it though? Like, give me like, if you buy a cheap
the peak
card.
Depends on how well he does. Because real talk, if Jordan Love does great and does end up in Canton, because who knows, crazier things have happened. That card's going to be worth a lot.
We're arguing two different. I get what you're saying. I just feel like there's tiers to cards, and so if you buy a lower tier card, it can only still be worth so much nowadays. I could be wrong on that.
I hear what you're saying, but I think it's entirely dependent on the player.
Okay.
Today, August 28th, is National Bow Tie Day, Jim.
Oh, man, they had a conversation about this.
We did. That was our poll question on Friday.
Just minus you.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. You weren't on the show. Yeah,
I
that's
wasn't
right.
around. And there's some blasphemous takes being given.
Well, I ask you, Matt Hamilton. Jim, I'll have a different question for you. Are bow ties fashionable?
10 out of 10 bow ties are fashionable. They almost always look good. Especially, like, they've got ones that are just idiot-proof they're perfect bow ties. You can't screw it up. Like, it's like a retro look that's now back. It's like vintage almost. Bow ties are always fresh. They still look fresh. You're going to get compliments on it. I wore a bow tie to one of the weddings I went to this weekend. I looked great. Bow ties are a good look.
Ooh, so he wore the bow tie. Oh.
Wow, just to spite me.
There you go. What was your question for me?
Have you worn a bow tie before?
No. I think that it kind of missed men of my age. Again, I feel like...
calling yourself old right now?
A little more of like the age range that they weren't cool when I was young enough to be hip to like wear something ironically. And now I was trying to think, did I wear a bow tie at my wedding? But no, it was not. It was a tie. Bow tie was an option, but my wife put the nix on it. So even then, 11, 12 years ago, no bow ties. So I'm going to go, I've never worn a bow tie unless I had one when I was a little kid. Maybe my mom popped me in a bow tie as a little kid.
I would like a bold, my last stone for you is tomorrow, NFL Cutdown Day, 23 and a half hours from right now is the deadline. Do we have any bold cut-down takes? I'll give you a second to stew on that while I inform you that Aaron Rodgers will be without a target that Madisonians know and love, as Alex Erickson has been cut from the New York Jets roster, the former Badger, out of New York. Matt, a bold roster cut take. Can be the Packers, can be anybody else. Go for it.
What was that Heath guy's name? What's his... Malik. He is going to make the team as a undrafted free agent for the Packers. That was my bold take. He had a good enough preseason.
I don't think that's very bold, but I'll give it to you.
We had guys that we wasted draft picks on, and this guy walked on basically
If you
and
had
made
said
the
that
team.
like a month ago, it would have been a bold take. Now
Okay.
it's a fait accompli. He might be their fourth wide receiver. Good or bad.
Yeah. Okay, I'll say he's the fourth wide receiver then to make it.
I will go with he's not going to get cut, but Josh Nijman will be on a different team.
Ooh, maybe trade it.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like that take. I don't like it because I like Josh Nijman, but I think Rasheed Walker's kind of taken over as that swing tackle.
I'll make one more bold one. I don't think DeAndre Foreman will be on the Bears this year.
Deontay.
On the Bears.
You're adding an R. Deontay.
Be on the Bears this year.
There we go.
That's my. Well, he was signed in the offseason, but they like Roshan Johnson, and they clear Herbert's playing well, and I think they're going to go with those two and then have someone else. They just cut P.J. Walker to go with an undrafted free agent out of D2. So, yeah.
For the backup job?
What's that?
The backup job?
He's the number 2 quarterback.
You even know his name?
Tyson, and then his last name is kind of strange to say. It's Bagent, I think is how you say it.
Okay.
Bagent.
I've never heard of the guy.
There's a little story. I mean, there was like an NFL.com story on him. In theory, he's like their Brock Purdy.
Oh.
He's a extremely efficient guy. He's the all-time leader in touchdowns in NCAA history. He got offers to go to Northwestern and other places after his junior year, but he wanted to get his college degree, so he stayed at the D2 school he was at.
Wow, that's kind of a fun story.
I mean, yeah. I mean, here's the case for it. Much similar to going to Sean Clifford. If Fields is out, the team's still pretty thin on talent, so if Fields is out, the season's cooked anyway. So
that's fair.
Give the young guy a chance.
All right, Jimmy, nice win.
Thank you.
I hope you spilled glizzy juice all over your New Jersey.
Yuck.
Yuck.
You, sir, are disgusting. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
You'll notice that some jewelry stores in the area are giving big, deep down discounts, as much as 60%. But you know what they're doing, don't you? They're just marking it up to mark it down. That's why for over 30 years, Chalmers Jewelers has offered you truth in pricing. You will always find great value on unique custom jewelry at Chalmers Jewelers. Truth in pricing is what it's always been.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Labor Day sale is going on now, featuring unbeatable deals on fall essentials for your home, work, and vehicles. Like 20% off Carhartt denim pants for the family, assorted KT designer welding helmets, $69.99. All Fram oil filters start at $5.49. $2 off Robic septic tank treatment. Plus, when your car's in the shop, get 10% off in-store purchases with $100 spent on tire and auto service. See store for details. Tires and batteries, trust and care. A Blaine's Farm and Fleet promise since 1955.
Hey, it's Alex Rowe. Football season is officially here, which means you better be doing it right with my friends at Door County Distillery. If you're a whiskey fan, you can't go wrong with the 9-time award-winning single malt whiskey from Door County Distillery. Maybe you like gin. How about that classic green bottle of gin from Door County Distillery? Or maybe it's the cherry brandy to mix up in your old-fashioned. Whatever it is, choose Door County Distillery. Visit their website, doorcountydistillery.com, for the retailer nearest you and all of those unique cocktail recipes. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
The best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Hi, this is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. We're the trusted local experts you can count on for your home exterior projects. There's a reason so many customers recommend us after we help with their projects. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
The 2023 Putts for Pups golf outing, with proceeds benefiting the Dane County Humane Society, is back and bigger than ever. Jesse Nelson here, presented by Bruner Realty and ESPN Madison and hosted at Blackhawk Country Club. Putts for Pups is a great day of golf aimed at raising money for an even greater cause. Last year's event raised over $32,500 for DCHS. Donate or find out how you can get involved at putsforpups.com. Proudly sponsored by Alts Operation.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Summer's here. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in car and driver 10 Best history.
See your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
See dealer for financing details.
There's nothing like a great night's sleep. If your mattress isn't quite right, chances are you're not sleeping as well as you should be. Steinhoffel's exclusive Discover Your Sleep system maps your body and sleeping position, and then finds the perfect mattress for you through science. So, stop in and find your perfect mattress with the Discover Your Sleep system, only at Steinhoffel's. Relax. It's Steinhoffel's.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Medicine.
In the apple pie and the sharpshooter.
Aaron Rodgers, dare I say, looked good in his preseason debut.
First in
for the gold
5
jacket.
years? First in 5 years?
That's a team player, man. He's just in, right?
He's just thrilled to be in New York.
It was a good pass. I think Jet fans have a reason to be excited. I think he's going to be more valuable than Peyton Manning was with the Broncos. But I have a feeling that Rodgers is going to put up numbers. I think he was 28-12 last year. He could be like 30-10 and 65% completion percentage and, 4,000 yards. But I think they're going to win a lot of games because their defense is really good.
And they just have such a tough schedule.
I know, but their defense was top 5 last year. And they won, I think, 7 games with a bottom-of-the-league offense.
Mm-hmm.
So if the defense stays in the top 10 and your offense gets to the middle of the road, I think they're going to be able – I think they'll win 10 games, and I think they'll make the playoffs.
Right.
But to go from 7 to 10 with a tough schedule is not nothing. And then in the playoffs, as Packer fans love to tell me every single year, who knows what happens. And this would be the opposite of what happened in the North. The North was a cakewalk, and they never got punched in the mouth. They're going to get punched in the mouth a lot this year, the Jets. And if they can make it through and get to the playoffs, they're going to be a battle-tested team. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. This is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. Okay, I'll blow your mind here. My fantasy quarterback this year is Aaron Rodgers.
Did you wait till like the 10th round?
It was I didn't wait. I'll tell you exactly when. Quarterbacks started to make a run. So it was kind of like the time I had to take a quarterback was more than anything else. And I don't know if it tells me what round I drafted him in.
Is this the best time of the football season? At least for people that get into fantasy, and fantasy football, this is the best time of year, no? Like the drafts are happening now. The most important part of your season, picking your players, is going on right now. And like there's players that are tearing ACLs and like backups that are coming out of the woodwork. You've got cut day coming. So like there's guys that I'm sure I've drafted that are going to get cut in some of my other leagues. So I just, this is the best time for like football fans that expanded past their team fandom and went to like fantasy football and decided like individual players or something worth like rooting for and following too. I know Stroph's into it. He turned a league down with me. I asked him to be a part of a league. And then literally a day later, less than 24 hours, he's like, oh, yeah, guess what? I joined a different league. Do you want to join my league?
Neither one of you are asking. I've said multiple times I want to be in a keeper league, but I want to join a league, and I never get invited. But that's right.
I mean, someone's going to drop out of our dynasty league. I'll get you in.
Yeah, I'm doing one with my friends at Carbon World Health. So that was where I picked Aaron Rodgers. That's the first. I've only do 2 this year. I think I'll do this one with Carbon World Health. I'll do the other one with ESPN Madison.
How many are you in? Matt?
I am in 4 for sure, and I think I'll be in 1 here at ESPN. So 5.
Well, if you didn't already accept the invite, you're not in.
Then I might not. Then I think I might just be in 4.
If we don't have 12 in the Madison one, figure out how to get
We have 16.
16? Great. Awesome. Last year I felt like we had 10 or something.
No, we had 16 last
We
year.
had a lot last year.
I was in a different one that was super thin. And I was like, this is kind of annoying.
10's not bad. 8 is bad.
I'm
in one 8-man league this year,
Oof.
but if I'm only in one, I don't mind it. The teams are just stacked then.
Yeah. No, but it's just, it gets, I don't know. I don't love it. I'll ask this question. 844-770-3776. For those of you who are in, you guys can answer this. For those of you who are in multiple fantasy leagues, you know how Mike and Mike used to do the bracket of integrity? Do you try to get the same players on every team? 844-770-3776. I think I subconsciously or maybe consciously do, if all things are equal. because then I just can cheer for the same person. Like, I don't want to get caught up in like, wait, I got this guy in this league, this guy in this league, and get kind of lost. It's the same reason why in the NCAA tournament I don't make a lot of changes either with the bracket, because I want to be able to know and root for something as opposed to, oh, who cares? Hopefully one of my brackets work out. Or in this case, oh, who cares? Hopefully one of my fantasy teams work out. I like to have some sort of integrity with the team, so I kind of have some players to follow. So what do you guys do with that?
So I like to think of it the same way maybe your people over at Canopy Wealth might think of it. I like to diversify my portfolio in fantasy football players. Yeah. And there's tough times where you'll be watching a game and you're like, oh, gosh, I need this quarterback and this wide receiver to score points, but the other guy on the other team, I need their quarterback to score, but don't throw it to so-and-so. Right? Like, I need Mac Jones to score a touchdown, but it can't be to Juju Smith-Schuster. Right? So, like, that gets a little tough. But at the same time, if you do it your way and throw all your eggs in a couple player baskets and you get an injury or they're just turn out to be booty, then all of your leagues are booty.
That's fair.
Or all your leagues have an injury. So, I do like to diversify. I might have, like, 3-4 guys that I, like, really like and I'll key for and try and get. But for the most part, I spread the wealth, and then I find myself on Sunday night hoping for very particular. I need a touchdown for Patrick Mahomes, but it can't go to Travis Kelce, and it can't be rushed by Jerick McKinnon. But if Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets it, we're good.
Strofe, where do you fall on this? Do you kind of an integrity, or do you just kind of pick whatever feels right in the draft?
I just do whatever feels right.
I mean, the fact that you lack integrity is not shocking to me. So.
I lack integrity.
There is definitely guys that have burned me in the past, and they're like blackballed from Matt Hamilton fantasy teams. Like Saquon Barkley, I will never draft Saquon Barkley again.
844-770-3776. Do you blackball players? But also, do you have like rules? Like, I don't like drafting. Like, I didn't draft anyone as far as a skill position player from Arizona. I said that.
Yeah, there's a few teams I have.
That just seems like a hot mess down there. I don't want any part of it.
I have a friend in a league that's drafting tonight who will not draft a player that has any sort of like criminal history.
Oh wow, that is
so it's very limited. I remember
for him.
one year they almost were gonna take somebody and we had to like talk them out of it because we wanted this player still available, but they had a history. So yeah, it's a pretty funny draft method that this person goes for.
That is interesting. What's the wild, and the 844-770-3776, what's the wildest rule you have for drafting your fantasy football team? 844-770-3776, the wildest rule you have for drafting your fantasy football team. That one's pretty bold. I mean, I guess good for him for the scruples, having integrity with that. That one is bold. Strofe, any rules for yours, or still just no rules, just draft whatever?
Draft whatever.
Yeah, no integrity.
No integrity.
Yeah. I do have a rule. It is never too soon to reach for one of the two or three top end tight ends. So like if you first round, I don't think it's crazy to go for Jason Kelce. The biggest discrepancy in fantasy football.
Kelce. He plays center.
Excuse me.
Hey man,
Travis Kelce.
He gets offensive
Jason
line points
Kelce,
as well.
Yeah, if you get good blocking points, depending on your offensive line scoring. No, Travis
Kelce. This is the most in-depth fantasy league ever.
Travis Kelce would be a big. He's going to score as much as like a wide receiver. So like if you take the third best tight end in the league, he's not even going to be close to like Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews. So you can reach for those guys.
I'll give you that because there's so few of them.
Yeah, tight ends I like reaching for. That's one of my like rules for. That's actually a rule in life. Aside from fantasy football,
Matt
go
Hamilton,
ahead and reach for tight ends.
Rule of life for Matt Hamilton. He loves
you can write that one down. Save it in
reach
your
for
repertoire.
tight ends.
You have no idea how many times that's helped me out of a jam.
Josh Madison chimes in, I refuse to draft Packers since I'm a Packers fan and I'm biased. That's fair. I talked myself out of Bear players.
That's funny because
that's the opposite of what I do.
I didn't get just. I got Rodgers to the Fields because like I feel like I'm reaching a little bit, and I should have drafted Fields. So I ended up with Rodgers, but I did do DJ Moore. But that was the only one I got.
When Matt Forte was the man in like I don't know what was that 2009,
something like that.
I've officially always thought Chicago running back, good move.
I mean,
I got
no integrity, no integrity to my fandom whatsoever.
Okay, but he was saying more of like he's over-biased. He doesn't want to draft the guy. Like he's going to oversell his player.
Here's the thing. I would love to get a Packer player, but everybody reaches
Correct.
way higher than I am willing to go.
You think Anders Carlson will be drafted in any of your leagues this year?
I mean, I'm going to use my last pick in my fantasy football draft to draft him.
You draft a kicker after a defense?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't even draft a kicker. I ended up making a cut
I might
later
not
on.
even draft a kicker and then just wait until week 1 and then swap a guy in and out. Kickers and defenses, I pretty much just stream based on the matchup.
Klinkster chimes in, I've never drafted anyone from the Lions, Vikings, and Bears. Didn't care how good they are. Their success could hurt the Packers in the standings. That's fandom there.
That is.
I want your wild fantasy football rules, 844-770-3776, or just like tendencies. I don't love drafting Packers. I would have.
I like Klinkster's rule because I have found myself sitting in situations where I'm like, oh man, the Packers are playing a guy that I would like to win, like to score, but not to beat the Packers, right? Like I need them to do well enough to help me do good for my team, but not so well that it affects my Packers W. That's a sticky spot. I mean, it can happen all the time, but most likely it's going to happen within the division.
Matt, before we go to break here, what is the best score you've ever shot in your life playing golf?
My best score was 3 over 75 this year.
If you were 6'3", 215 and near 80, do you think you could shoot 67 at Bedminster?
No.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
Listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. The wait is over, Badgers fans. It's officially game week, which means it's time to look at some of the numbers inside the 2023 Wisconsin football team. 5 days from game day means we take a look at number 55, the fifth-year senior, Muma Jungmeta. Jungmeta returns for his 5th year after a monster 2022 season on the Wisconsin defense, leading the team with 95 tackles and log sacks in the final 4 games of the regular season. Jungmeta is on the watch list for 3 individual awards, so the expectations are high for the 5th-year senior.
Bundle a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin at PellaWI.com.
Join the Wisconsin Badgers when Camp Randall Stadium comes alive again this fall. Now is your chance to be there when Coach Fickle and the team takes the field on September 2nd. Don't wait. Lock in your spot for game day today. For more information and to purchase your Wisconsin football tickets, visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. That's uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
ESPN Madison is on Wisconsin Sports. Catch up on anything you missed on the Varsity Podcast on Wisconsin On Demand. Brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, shop local, part of the Madison community since 1973.
With over 25 years of experience, TLC Laser Eye Centers is a leader in LASIK. TLC has performed over 2.3 million LASIK procedures nationwide, including treatment for over 10,000 doctors and professional football player Kirk Cousins.
TLC Laser Eye Centers is a brand that's proven and can be trusted. This was not a procedure I wanted to cut corners on. I wanted to get the best quality and the best doctors and make sure that it was done to the highest level. And I felt that TLC was the brand that would do that. And so it made the decision easy for me and for my wife.
Come see why TLC is the doctor's choice for LASIK and the choice for Kirk Cousins. Right now, TLC Laser Eye Centers is offering $1,000 off LASIK when treated in September. That's $500 off per eye. Visit tlcoffer.com today to schedule your free consultation. Must mention this promotion and be treated in September of 2023 to qualify. $1,000 off for both eyes on standard wave light price. $500 off for one eye. Cannot be combined with any other offers. See details at saveontlc.com.
Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. Better prices, better warranties. Legacy always makes it easy. Go to legacy-exteriors.com. Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Matt, we need to get back out to see our friend Lee at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Because
I agree.
Yes. Who doesn't want to go?
I haven't put in a shift since I got my chef's coat.
Oh, yeah. So we can do a show, and then you can do a shift.
Yeah.
You could cook something up for the team.
Yeah, maybe make a couple extra bucks.
There you go. We'll
Give
you
a
a good tip.
part-time gig working in the kitchen at Ruth's Chris.
Yeah. You won't replace Kevin, I'll tell you that. Maybe you could be his bar back or something like that. The best bartender in Madison over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Best kept secret is their Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour. Go in and enjoy it. It's fantastic. And with holiday season coming up, great way to get a gift card or things like that for someone as well over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. He's Hamilton. I am Rutledge. And I have a question for you regarding the Packers. In 844-770-3776. There are some reports out there that Josh Nijman could just be cut. Is there a Packers player who's on the bubble or would actually surprise you if they're cut? Josh would probably be my vote, but...
Yeah, I'd agree with Yash. It seems like Royce Newman's career as a Packer is over and done with, but that's not super surprising.
No, I don't think that's surprising. O'Donnell wasn't shocking. I don't think it's the best choice.
No, I agree, and I think that's probably the most surprising cut we'll get.
I think you're right, but, I mean, Yash's name keeps on popping up, and usually if there's that much around it, that either he gets traded or...
I still feel like, yeah, to your point, like I think you could get a 5th-round pick for him or 6th-round pick for him.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe Isaiah Simmons was traded for a 7th rounder, so it's hard to guess. And he was a former 1st rounder. It's hard to guess what you could get from him. But I would imagine the Packers. Here's what I'm imagining happening is that they're exploring every option humanly possible to trade him, and then at some point they might decide it's not even worth getting a 7th rounder back. Let's just get out from it. I don't know if there's salary cap implications one way or the other for that, something like that. But that would surprise me because I do think he is a good swing tackle in the NFL. And I don't see why they feel the need to get rid of him. So I guess explain. So if you're the biggest Packer, you're the most swim deep Packer fan on this show here. Why do they view him so expendable? Because for me, like I get Royce, but Yash, I guess he can only play the tackles. But it's not like Bakhtiari is the pillar of health. He's practicing like once a week.
Correct. And Rasheed Walker, one of last year's 7th-round picks, has really seemed to overtake Yash as that swing tackle. So if Bach's out or if Zach Tom gets injured, God forbid, because I'm really excited to see what he can do in his second year, it seems like Rasheed Walker would pass Josh Nijman as the top option there. I like Nijman. He's played really well every time he's been thrown into situations. So it surprises me how far he's fallen down the depth chart. But on the interior side, you have those spots locked up, and it seems like Josh isn't very ahead there. But
I don't think
if he's your 6th best offensive lineman or 7th best offensive lineman, that's a really good problem to have.
I guess the way I looked at it is that when I look at Bakhtiari, it's just a large question. Like, I think he plays 12 games this year. Now, you think you're getting a full season out of Bakhtiari?
I think that's what he played last year. Hopefully more than 12.
I would like to see him
get
play
17 games?
limited snaps, but I think I think it's possible for him to play 17 games. Like, obviously, injuries are random, but I think if he's kind of on a snap count, not necessarily thinking he is going to be our 3-down tackle every single time we're on offense, I don't think he'd make 17 games. I don't think he's got the longevity for it.
Run him out as. He's not going to practice during the week, but I think that's where they'll save him.
I mean, that might be it. They've got to find some way to limit the tread on the tires there for Bakhtiari because he's got a finite number of seasons in this NFL left, and if you want to make sure he's useful for as long or for as many of those as possible, it's going to be putting him on a snap count of some fashion.
Well, and I think for the Packers, as brutal or as unfair as it sounds, I think they only care about getting him through this year. I think after this year,
so too,
they're going to move on past.
I think he's going to be a Jet.
Yeah, I could see that. I also think the Packers are more than willing to move on from him as well. So that's not a knock on Bakhtiari. I just think at this age, the other aspect of it, though, is that if the Packers are let's say they're out of it. Let's say they have 5-6 wins with 3 or 4 games to go. And at some point, Bakhtiari might say, yeah, my knee hurts. I'm not running out there anymore because I want to be able to play in the NFL longer. I'm not risking a career-ending injury like Ryan Jansen just had, where he's had 2 knee injuries back-to-back years, the center for Tampa, and he's done. Like, he's going to have like stem cells installed from into his knee to try to reinvigorate, to try to regenerate some of the stuff going on there. So that's how bad his knee is. So I don't think Bakhtiari's far away from that. Like, Bakhtiari's probably one bad knee injury from being done. So if this team is going the wrong direction late in the year, I could see Bakhtiari sitting.
I mean, I can see the Packers shutting him down too, not necessarily for the future of Bakhtiari, but his future trade value. They're going to move on from him. They
won't be able to trade him, but they don't want to have a big injury settlement, and they might want to see what they have in the young guy.
Right. I mean, yeah, I think this is the last year of his contract, right?
No, it's just they can get out of his contract pretty decently after this year.
Okay.
Like, this is the last year where his contract seems basically unmovable.
Fair enough.
844-770-3776. Would you be what surprise player or what player of the Packers cut would that surprise you? So the Packers wide receivers is going to be Watson, Dobbs, Torrey, Reed, not in a specific order, and then you're going to have Heath in the mix. And who am I missing then?
Jaden Reed.
I said Reed.
Okay.
I put him in backwards order. I had Reed after Torrey.
I don't know that Torrey is going to make it.
Really?
I think he might be a
been good on
practice squad
special
guy.
teams. He might have carved himself.
I
a
figured
role
they
in
would
special
keep
teams.
6. So what are the 6?
But there's a guy by the name of Bo Melton who is
Melton
listed.
won't make it. It'll be Tay Wicks and Grant DuBose, both rookies. Those guys will probably be. I mean, the Packers don't like to cut draft picks, but
Is it pronounced Dubois?
No, it's DuBose.
It is?
Grant DuBose. Yep.
Just out here taking swings and misses over here.
DuBose, and he thought it was Dubois.
I don't know. I've heard of people spell different ways. Different spellings make different sounds. I just figured you were wrong there, Strofe.
I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it both ways. Real quick, got to tell you about my friends over at Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits. There's no party like a Door County Distillery party. Go to their website, doorcountydistillery.com, to find the retailer nearest you and their unique cocktail recipes. They will sure to be the hit of any football gathering you have coming up. Officially football season. Do it right with Door County Distillery, doorcountydistillery.com.
I know the answer is no, the Packers wouldn't do this, but as a fan, would you feel more comfortable with P.J. Walker or Sean Clifford as your backup quarterback?
Sean Clifford, he's a stud.
All right, he's not going to be serious.
I haven't been for the last 3 weeks.
I don't want a good necessary backup quarterback, because if we lose Jordan Love, I'd rather just tank and get the best draft pick possible.
You say that now, but what happens if the team in this bad division, which everyone is the number one reason why the Packers might win the division, the whole division is trash, which is not a great sign for the quality of the Packers team. But let's say that you are 500 late in the year. Jordan Love looks fine, looks like he's a guy you're going to keep around. Would you rather Colt McCoy's another guy got cut? Would you rather go to Colt McCoy or P.J. Walker and give yourself a chance, or light your season on fire and go with Sean Clifford?
Light the season on fire.
Okay, Strofe.
Light the season on fire. Sean Clifford, but that's not lighting the season on fire.
That is lighting.
That's
lighting the world on fire.
Yeah.
All right, this show is officially drunk. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.